It is Tuesday, October 21st, and that means that we're just hours away from the tip off of the 2025-2026 NBA season. And things are going to get pretty interesting. There's a few teams on my radar that I'm excited to lock onto since the league got shaken up so much this offseason. First, I want to start with the Portland Trailblazers. They just locked up their core of Shaedon Sharpe, Toumani Camara, and Denny Avdia for the foreseeable future. Shaedon Sharpe just signed a 4-year, $90 million deal to keep him in Portland until 2030. Sharpe comes in still a bit rough around the edges, but he's going to be a major focal point for the Blazers moving forward. He's got some great athleticism and has gotten better at the rim. He's great in the pick and roll. He's great in transition. He's not a bad defender by any means, but he does get frustrating at times. He's 6'6" and 210 pounds, though, so he has the physical tools to be great on that end of the floor. If his three ball falls with some more consistency, he can create his own offense with a good shot diet. The sky's the limit for Sharpe as your future go-to guy. Toumani Camara also just got inked through 2030. He provides some nice defensive versatility for the Blazers with potential for 3-and-D upside. Camara just finished in the top 10 for Defensive Player of the Year in just his second season in the NBA. He's got great length and intensity on the defensive side of the floor, and he's agile enough to stay in front of guards. Offensively, he's seen a jump in scoring and efficiency. He's getting better, but it doesn't look like there's much more room for growth since there's several better options ahead of him. Given his jump from his rookie year to his second year in the league, there's optimism that he can be a starter for the Blazers for a long time. There's opportunity for growth on the roster just about everywhere. Damian Lillard is back in the mix along with Jrue Holiday and Jeremy Grant. With that mix of veterans, their future is very bright. I'll be more invested into them than any other team this season, I think. Next up, I have the Atlanta Hawks. If they can stay healthy, I think they can be at the top of the East with teams like the Knicks and the Cavs. Trae Young has new additions in Kristaps Porzingis, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, as well as rookie Asa Newell. Zachary Reese balled out his rookie season. Jalen Johnson is looking for a bounce-back year after a torn labrum in his left shoulder. And I expect for Dyson Daniels to pick up right where he left off last year and be a monster on the defensive side of the ball. If Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, and Reese Shea can do what they did last year with a fresh squad around them, they're going to make a lot of noise. This team is extremely deep and has some insane upside on both sides of the ball. Quinn Snyder and the Hawks are looking to make a big push in the Eastern Conference that's wide open without the Pacers or the Celtics. On paper, this Hawks team looks like they can stack up with just about any other team in the East. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. I really like what the Denver Nuggets front office has been able to do this offseason. They looked like a team kind of dead in the water without much roster flexibility, but they could end up towards the top of the Western Conference again. The move of Michael Porter Jr. and a first-round pick to Brooklyn in exchange for Cam Johnson at first didn't seem like anything too major until the Nuggets were able to fill out their rotation. They traded Dario Saric for Jonas Valanciunas, giving Denver a nice backup big if Zeke Nnaji doesn't pan out coming off of his injury. They brought Bruce Brown back in on a veteran minimum, who ended up being a major piece to their championship team a couple years back. They brought in Tim Hardaway Jr., who should be great in the Nuggets offense that thrives around spacing off of Nikola Jokic. This still leaves them with Julian Strawther and Christian Braun, who they just signed to an extension. Essentially, the Denver Nuggets turned Michael Porter Jr. into 4 reliable pieces in their rotation. This is a team that struggled with depth, so being able to add more reliable players around Jokic is a win no matter what. They'll be towards the top of the West for sure. Lastly, I think it's obvious that I have to talk about the Houston Rockets. They just cashed in on one of the greatest players we've ever seen in Kevin Durant this offseason. Being able to keep pieces such as Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Sengun, and Reed Shepherd. On top of keeping their young guys, they brought in Dorian Finney-Smith, Steven Adams, and brought Clint Capella back. They'll be without Fred VanVleet this season due to injury, but they have the luxury of being able to take their time to tinker with lineups and seeing where they want to go once the trade deadline comes along. This team is pretty sick. The Rockets are coming off of a 52-win campaign last year, and I think they could be right back up towards the top of the West. And that's all I've got. Let me know who you guys have your eyes on this year. See ya.